Welcome to this Time Saver special, all about ICT.
So I've just finished my research now and finished making my PowerPoint, so I'm going to save it onto my pen drive. You can transport it from place to place without having to save or send yourself an email with your work on.
More from Sarah later in the programme.
The learning platform has enabled staff to really develop what we want to develop here, which is 24/7 interaction between pupils, staff and parents. It's so much more easy to access class lists, access parental information and pupil information as well. The learning platform makes life much more flexible for staff. For instance, there was a member of staff last week who had a music lesson to go to, and they didn't need to worry about staying in school or missing things or whatever. It meant that they could go and do that music lesson and then go home, presumably have their tea, and then start work when they wanted to work. And this works the same for members of staff who have children, young children in particular.
The good thing about RVLE is that we can create interactive quizzes which basically mark themselves, so that can save us so much time with homeworks, with end of unit assessments. The quizzes are built as a web page. The elements are put in onto the page. We can choose from a text box where the pupils can enter a word, a multiple choice question so they select the right answer. You can do a drop-down menu, which is basically the same thing where they select the correct answer. We can add pictures, we can add text, we can add sound, we can add videos. It's up to you how you set it up. RVLE looks at the answer that they've selected and adds up the scores and instantly gives them feedback. Because it marks itself, you're saving so much time in the marking, especially if you have like 3 or 4 year 8 classes, year 7 classes. It's all marked for you. So you can just copy and paste the marks from one spreadsheet into your own spreadsheet for your own records. The pupils have access to the quiz at any time. So if a teacher's off work or they're on a course or anything like that, then it can just be set via the VLE. So the quiz can be there, the pupils are told where to go and find the quiz, and they can just do it. So any teacher can set the quiz for them. I can log on at home and create the quizzes at home. So it saves a lot of time. So anywhere that I can get access to a computer, I can log on and create these quizzes.
Online reporting saves us time because you don't have to make sure that you take your reports or whatever with you wherever you're going. You can just log in, even if you're on a computer in a different classroom or from home, and everything's there for you. You can't leave your reports in the car or at home, or if you went to a meeting and you left them in your bag. We just click on the link and we can then choose the group that we're going to enter our reports from. Another feature of this actually is it automatically brings up their photograph. So if it's in year 7 and you're doing their first reports and you're not quite sure, maybe if you've only taught them a few times, you've actually got their photograph there as well. So you go across, you find the pupils, you click on the drop-down box, and then you choose a statement that fits their effort or their achievement, their attainment, and their coursework or their classwork. We also have the behaviour in there. The target grades for them is automatically put in as well, so you don't have to go and find that information, that's already there for you. And that literally is it. So after 5 or 6 clicks on the button, then the report for that pupil's done. I click on the submit button and the data is then ready for the parents to view. It's all safe, it's all secure, and yeah, it saves a lot of time, but it's also much cleaner and more efficient. One time I'd done a set of reports and then we found out that the school policy was that they were all going to be done in black ink, and I'd written them in blue ink, so I had to redo them, whereas with this system that wouldn't happen. And then another time I was taking a set of reports to a form tutor. It was in the summer term, the end of term, lovely day. Year 11s were about to leave, and I got a little bit wet by accident. I think there was a water balloon getting as I was walking round a corner, and the reports just got drenched. So again, the paper got all wrinkled, and I had to rewrite them out again. But all in good fun, but a lot of time.
Another aspect of the VLE is that we can actually set up a lesson plan which has the objectives, the outcome, the learning outcomes. You can attach resources to that lesson plan. And that lesson plan then is basically a little page that's on the VLE. It can be accessed by any pupils, any teachers. So again, if you're not in school, you're in a course, you can actually basically set a lesson via your lesson plans. As a faculty, we can build our own bank of resources, which then could be used by all the teachers within that faculty. Individual teachers can do one part of the lesson plan, another teacher can do another part of the lesson plan, which basically then we can share around the department, so that saves a lot of time. Again, they can be copied, they can be edited at any time. So you're not building things from scratch. Everything's there, ready and waiting for you to just go in, add a little bit of editing to it, and it becomes a new assessment. You can set this as homework as well. So any coursework that they're missing, the pupils can log on at home, they can have a look, oh, I haven't done AO4, my Unit 1, I can go in, they can open the lesson plan, have a look what they need to do, open the resources, complete the resources, and then you can submit it electronically to us, so that also we can give them feedback as well.
We have lesson plans stored in our faculty area on the VLE, but we also have the facility to do quick issue work. Now, the quick issue work is something that will then just go out to the pupils that are in that particular group. I could maybe explain things a little better to them or have it differentiated. Now, you can do that with the other lesson plan, but it literally just takes seconds to do this. Sometimes, even if you have got a lesson plan, I will do a quick issue because I can attach extra resources that they might not have brought with them that day. They can then access the work anywhere. They could open that work up and they're going to know what we're going to do today, so they might want to read through and prepare for the lesson, or they might want to make sure that they bring their folders with them, that kind of thing. Once I've actually created it, what I could do is issue it to 2 or 3 different teaching groups at the same time. So you're not attaching all the resources again and again. You don't have to photocopy, any resources that you might have. The pupils just have it directly with them. They have it online. It saves me going through, say, pupils are off on school trips or that they're unwell. The pupils that keep up to date with what the rest of the class are doing. So that saves an immense amount of time in the long run when they come back into school, and making sure that they feel as if they're still right up to date with the class. And of course, the communication, rather than pupils having to try and find me, or if I'm teaching or if I'm busy, you can still communicate via this, and it's very personalised.
So I've just got home now, so I've just logged on to the school's VLE. I'm now inputting my grades for my classes. It takes 2 minutes and it's done and it's there forever. If we didn't have the VLE, it would be all written, and that just isn't feasible with the time restraints that we have. Quickly, I've done this now and I can get on to my next task. Another really good time saver that the VLE has is that we can reach the shared drive that our school has from home, which is really, really helpful, because when I've done my PowerPoints, I can actually save them to the school system, and when I get to work, they're there already, so there's no messing around with the likes of a USB or having to email, so it's really quick and easy and saves me a lot of time. So it's 5 o'clock now and I've finished for the day. You've been with me for my daily life and how I use technology, from the visualiser to the VLE to the different PowerPoints, even the flip video cameras, and I can honestly say it saves me a severe amount of time. Without that, I'd probably be sitting here till about 7 o'clock still working, but now I can enjoy my evening and maybe even watch some teachers' TV.
PowerPoints are everywhere. Often you would say death by PowerPoint, perhaps. However, they are used very effectively by staff, particularly to save time. If you've got a number of Year 9 classes or Year 8 classes, you can create one PowerPoint and then adapt it as you go along. And you can reuse it time and time again.
What you're going to be using for me today is a ruler, and a pencil and a pair of compasses. Why are we doing this today? Well, if you want to be an architect, this is something that you probably come across, okay? You might need to do some kind of constructions. Draftsman, does anybody know what a draftsman is? I probably use PowerPoints most days because it means I can plan my work and it's there for me. I don't have to waste time writing on the board. It also means that it's much clearer and much more visually pleasing for the pupils. As a department, we share an awful lot of PowerPoints between us. We have a shared drive and there must be over 100 on there now that we can go on, download, change if we want, modify, add animation, delete. It's very versatile. We use them quite a lot. I can also go onto the internet and there are various sites where you can download PowerPoints that again you can either use as they are or adjust to suit yourself. The two main places I source my PowerPoints from are sites called eMaths and worldofteaching.com, and they're free to teachers. They can download them, modify them and save them.
What you're going to need for this is your notes and your voting pad, okay? Are we listening? Don't press anything yet. I'll just ask you the question and then I'll question a couple of you on what you got or what you wrote down. Okay, everyone happy? Everyone got this in front of them? Joe, you awake? Got it? Good man? All right, so what level did pupil 1 achieve? Who was pupil 1? Remind me? Megan. Fantastic. Megan was, okay. So you need to decide now whether Megan was a level 4 or a level 5 and be prepared to tell me what you think, okay? So vote now, please. The voting pads are used widely in the English department and they're so simple. If we make a PowerPoint, you have the option of inserting an interactive slide and it's that easy. It's just like making a PowerPoint, but one of your slides is going to kind of involve all of the pupils. You simply give them out and the kids vote, and with the touch of a button the results are up on screen. Let's see what we got. So 95% think that Megan was a level 5. Who was the 5% that didn't? That was probably you that voted wrong. Yeah. That came up. Okay, so fair enough. So let's say 100% think it's level 5. Tom, give me one reason why Megan was a level 5. I make all my own PowerPoints. The one that you've seen today was a mix between just a standard PowerPoint and the interactive slides. The PowerPoints are basic and they simply just give all the information the kids need without me having to go over it again and again, which saves me time. Because I'm getting instant feedback, I'm able to assess at the end of the lesson in my plenary who has learnt what, and it saves me kind of having to go through their books at the end of the day to see what their plenary was or to understand who understood that task or who needs to move on. So it's a massive time saver in the fact that at the end of my lesson I can plan for the next straight away.
As we move forward into the future, teachers quite rightly may be concerned about how all this is going to affect them. I think that teachers will adapt, as they always do. I think teachers will embrace it, as they always do. And I think they will move forward with it. Obviously, we can't have Jimmy Smith contacting us at 3 o'clock in the morning just because they're working and we're in bed. So there has to be some kind of structure to it. But I think it will work, and I think it will be a fantastic place to be as a teacher in the future.